Welcome back to another ACRP TV Spotlight. Today we're looking at the importance of mentoring in clinical research. Of course, a very important topic. We know a lot of people sort of stumble into this career. COVID has helped raise awareness of clinical trials, but they're still not that widely known as a career option. We're talking today with Leslie Sam, who's the principal consultant with the Wool Consulting Group. Leslie, thank you for joining us today.
It's my pleasure, Michael, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to join you. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, you and I have spoken before, and I can hear the excitement in your voice about mentoring and giving back. So talk about what mentoring means to you and why it's so important.
Well, mentoring, I think the value of mentoring is completely underrated. And I want to take just a step back. So once you join a company, you join an enterprise, you join an organization, you're paired up pretty quickly with a coach. And that person helps you with the day-to-day, how do I find the form, how do we execute this process, and so on. And frequently what I've seen over the years and over time is that this coach is sometimes confused with your mentor. Your mentor gives you guidance and coaching on your career, different avenues that you may pursue, or different experiences you should consider as you're thinking about your career path. So coach is very different from your mentor. Your supervisor perhaps can coach you, but your supervisor may not be the exact right person to be your mentor. So you just have to give that some thought. The mentors that I've had over the years, I can tell you many of them I've had for, over 10 years, 15 years. So there's that relationship, that bonding. And many of my coaches actually, or my mentors, excuse me, did actually start out as my supervisor, and we developed a relationship. I moved on throughout my different experiences and roles. And those people, those individual supervisors, we agreed, we came together, and we agreed that they would mentor me through through my career. So that's some of the value. And, I think it's important too, as you're exploring opportunities for mentors, that you consider your network. And what I mean by that is those people that maybe you work with every day, that's part of your network. Those people that maybe are in more of your friends category, that you tell your secrets to or you confide in. That's part of your network, whether it's on the job, whether it's out of the job. But all of those people have the potential opportunity to be a mentor. So as you're thinking about your mentors, it doesn't have to be this unknown. And really, it shouldn't be an unknown. It should be a person that you develop some type of relationship with, because that person, they will have your back, so to speak, right? They'll be able to pass along information that might be beneficial to you about your performance or unintended things that you maybe have said or done. So those mentoring type relationships can bring you much value. Another type of relationship, you didn't ask, but I feel compelled to share. Another type of relationship is your sponsor or your champion. And that person, they're different yet from a mentor, because that person, they're willing to stick their neck out, right? Whereas a mentor, they might coach you and say, oh, you should do this, consider that. But that champion, they're willing to go to bat for you, to say, this is the person that you need on your team. They're willing to vouch for you. So it's a really kind of a more intimate, if you will, relationship than your mentor or your network. So just different things to consider as you're evaluating prospective mentors, and certainly the champions or the sponsors that you may have in your career.
Now, I know there's a lot of human factor involved in this. In fact, it's almost completely the human factor. But how does one identify potential mentors and champions?
So with the mentors, like I said, I personally feel the value came from exploring my network. And then it's a give and take. It's not that my mentor was giving me all the information about my career. I provided that value too to my mentors and sharing with them observations that I've had about their experience, their performance or things like that. Sometimes solicited, sometimes unsolicited. I can share with you an example where one of my mentors, and she'd been my supervisor for several years, and then we established a mentoring relationship. And she was the head of an affinity group at the company. And she was hearing information that wasn't really supportive. There were concerns, not specifically about her, but the actions that were being taken. And she called me in because she knew, because of our relationship, that she can trust. And we had a very transparent and open relationship. She could trust and she valued what I had to offer based on my observation. So it's a give and take kind of situation. My mentors, they served many different purposes in that one of them had been at the company for over 30 years. So he had the perspective of, this happened 20 years ago. You don't need to be concerned. We've seen this before. Some of my more recent mentors, they would share with me the experiences of how to navigate that career path and those kind of things. So I really kind of started with my pool of network individuals, right? And so just thinking about them and the kind of relationship, and it wasn't that I would meet with them once a year only when I wanted something or needed something. My mentors, I would schedule them at the beginning of the year, 4 times a year, my mentors, so that they knew that this relationship was valuable to me. And in many cases, if they had to cancel or if I had to reschedule, they were right on it to get me back on their calendars as quickly as possible. So that was an indicator to me that they felt I was important. Mm. So I really kind of, to go back to your question, I really started with my network and started there.
And it sounds like the champion might be a little bit harder to find. That's almost like a above and beyond a mentor in some way.
It is. It is. You're exactly right. And that champion type role, or those individuals who were my champion, they, in some cases, sought me out. In other cases, I would seek them out. But I can't say there was a long list, because who has that really? But those individuals that I did have, it was a short list. It was very valued. They were recognized in the company. So it was just a short list, I'll just say that, of individuals, a very valued and worthwhile relationship to have.
Sounds to me, it's almost like looking around a group of people you work with and thinking, who do I want to be like when I grow up?
Exactly. You know what? That's funny you say that, because one of my champions, advisors, or sponsors, that's exactly, I saw her do something in a meeting, and that was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, and it still sticks with me to this day. And I've frequently said, remember when you did this in this meeting and you said this, you did that. I said, that's what I want to be able to do. I want people to feel about me like we felt about you in that meeting. And she came back to me like maybe 10 years ago after that situation. She said, now tell me the details, because I've got another situation like that. So remind me of what I said and what I did. So that's that kind of give and take that I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Really appreciate your time. This has been our ACRP TV Spotlight on the importance of mentoring in clinical research. We've been speaking with the great Leslie Sam, Principal Consultant with the Wool Consulting Group. Leslie, I want to thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Michael. And I've enjoyed my time with you today.